both started the same time.
When you were 14?
Yes, probably
In the microphone. Let me hold it. There we go.
14 or so. And it's just been real special to our lives.
Who would bring you to church?
Mother would, because Dad had a restaurant and he had to get up really early to cook, so he couldn't come with us very often.
Tell us about the Sunday school classes. Where were they here?
Oh, they were they were upstairs, and it was real dark. And
No, upstairs. You liked it because of the sunshine?
Oh, yes, we did.
Tell them that.
We did.
And why did you like it?
Because it was so sunny upstairs, and that's where the Sunday school classes were. So we wanted to start going there because so many of our friends went there. And so that's how we got started.
And what did you and Uncle Guy do, my Uncle Guy, in junior high and high school? You were part of what group?
Double Trouble.
The younger members church group? You and Guy were part of the younger members church
Yes.
group? And what did you do?
Oh, we went to Estes a lot, went hiking and all kinds of different things.
What was your favorite restaurant at Estes?
The Blue Pail Cafe that my aunt and uncle owned. So we went there a lot.
And where did you get married to Wayne Wells?
Here. Yes.
August of 1950.
Yes. Gee, that was a long time ago.
And what did you and Dad participate in here at the church?
Oh,
The Passion Play?
yes, the outstanding thing that we remembered so well was the Passion Play. I don't know if any of you remember that or not, but Nell Simmons, one of the minister's wives, wrote it. And we had people from the community that came and saw it, and it was really outstanding.
What part did you play?
Rhoda,
A king's daughter?
yes, a king's daughter,
And what did Wayne play?
King Harold. He was the Cross King.
And who else was in the play?
Oh, Bill Ankeny and Dick Boettcher,
Marty Noe?
Marty Noe, and who else?
Bill Ankeny?
Bill Ankeny's.
And then what did you and Wayne do? What else were you involved in? The Double Trouble.
Double Trouble.
What was Double Trouble? Is that because you both were twins?
No, that was because we were
It was-
both a young married couple. And that's where it got its name.
And who else was part of the Double Trouble group? Irene Boettcher?
Yes, Irene, for sure,
And Nose.
and Nose.
And what did you do with the Double Trouble group?
Oh, we went to Estes a lot, went hiking, and what else?
Just lots of great memories.
Yes, we did. It was just a fun group that you just always remember.
Jody, where did you marry Doc at? Which church did you marry Doc in?
The new Congregational Church.
We call Doc Gentry our bonus Bob. They've been married now 19 years.
Yes. And it's been great.
So isn't this darling? This church is so darling. And it brings back, of course, many wonderful youth memories. We were busy in this church. We did a lot of things. Of course, you expect me to talk about the music, which I will begin with, because that was why I happened to come to this church from Our Savior's Lutheran Church, where my family was very happy, and I was getting a good beginning in my catechism studies, and everything was working out fine, except all of my friends were coming to this church for various things, and one was the music. So they had an orchestra, they had ensembles, I played solos, I played at weddings, I played all around town, and I did a lot of music in this church. I wanted to just mention also that Jody mentioned the Passion Play, because that's a very important memory that stands out in my mind because of some of the people, the talented people who were a part of that. The whole church was involved. All families were involved. My mother did makeup, did food, did sewing, costumes. My father was Joseph in the play. Gloria Royer was Mary that year. We had musicians from the college, as we always have, but we had a very strong group of male singers. We had E.E. Moore, Carl Melander, Claude Schmitz, Marvin George, all of those people, and all of those college professors played a part in the Passion Play. And so I'll never forget this one thing. When the three kings processed down this aisle, it was unforgettable. The sound that those three kings projected was just what took my breath away. Anyway, and the lighting and everything was so wonderful. They did the presentation several nights that one week, and they sold tickets, and it was very, very real, and I was in the orchestra, of course. And then the other musical things, Gladys Matthews was sitting at the organ. We had a pipe organ, which was, I don't know that the Baptist church ever had a pipe organ. Did they? Does anybody know? The Baptist church, I don't think. But anyway, there were very few organs in churches. And she sat. The organ was right next to that, in that indentation right there. Years, I don't know how many years she was here, but it was
I just read that.
Did
At least
you?
41.
41
years. Yeah.
Great. The other thing that I wanted to say was, how did I come to this church? Well, my boyfriend, or whatever, boyfriends, we're all coming to this church because they had activities, lots of them. They had youth group on Sunday night, but we came for Friday night. We were at the gym dancing, at the 8th Avenue gym dancing. Saturday night we were at the Episcopal Church at Trinity Teen Town. And Sunday we came to choir and Fireside, or Sparks in junior high, on youth group. And then a lot of times we'd stay and turn the records on. We were a dancing bunch of fools. But, I mean, we danced all the time. All the boys didn't stand along the sidelines. They all danced. It was like really fun. When I started coming here to Sunday school, it was fun. You know the little boxes on the doors over in the Sunday school rooms, the little flip doors on the front. That's where they come by and pick up the offering after in the classroom we would.
So these were right here is the Sunday school rooms?
Those
right?
classrooms. And there's a little door in front of each one, and they put messages through there. Anyway, so my parents then changed their membership to the Congregational Church from the Lutheran Church, and then the years have added up, folks, because I think we got confirmed when we were like 12 or something like that. So I just have cut my membership, and I'm so proud of our church for all that they do mission-wise and how strong they are in their music program and ethical, and it's just nowhere else is good. That's all there is to it. So I'll just say, the high school youth group met in the dome room. And that's the room that's with the stained glass window, and I'll remember that window all of my life. When the sun would shine in there on Sunday afternoon, it would be so...
This is the dome room right over here?
That we were in.
What?
Yeah, that's the dome room, okay.
That's the dome room where we ate. Yes.
And did you say, and you remember the sun shine? I mean,
I remember
both you and Jody remember
that window was
the light of the
unforgettable.
space.
You all remember the window, I'm sure, from years back. It was just breathtaking way. Beautiful. So I can think of a lot of things, but I'll fill in the spaces if anybody needs me. I love it. This is my fun part of life, is just talking about the old times. I love it.
It was such a gift to us, Patsy.
And I just...
Yeah.
Sorry. One more thing, the follow-through. What an outstanding follow-through we've had with all of our leadership. And that's what it's all about, folks, the leadership in the church, and the staff and the members and everything are talented, strong leaders, and we have been very fortunate to maintain that standard. I'm so proud of us and all of our ministers. Our first minister that I remember was I first remember Joseph Cleveland, then Wilbur Simmons, and then on. So we have such a good staff today, and it's just such a pleasure to be a member of this church and all of my friends here, whenever I come.
I remember joining the church not too long after we started attending, and I thought the choir was great, the music was great, and the highlights of the year were the Passion Play and the Christmas play, and my husband always liked to play in the Passion Play, and our little toddler out in the audience one time said, "Hi, Dada." And another incident that I remember was when my sister, my older sister, was she was an angel in the. She just happened to be out here and was an angel in one of the Christmas plays, and she fainted, and somebody in the audience said, "The angel has fallen." But I remember my time here in this church, and although I'm not able to attend the church at where our present location is, I do watch it on the internet and enjoy it a lot. And that's about all I have to say.
We've already heard a lot about this church, and it has always been a wonderful church, and it's been filled with leaders. And our church, I think Pat gave the best picture, even though it was primarily on music. Other than music, there was lots of other activities of the church. In the early days, they actually provided what I would call birth till death, because even very small toddlers had things to do at this church. And then everything from first grade to 12th grade was a huge thing, and there was lots of competition for different things. I grew up in a family that had a ranch 10 miles east of Greeley, and it was a little hard to come to all of the activities of the church at that time because, well, number one, part of it was during the war, and part of it was because cars were not built and you didn't use them the way we do today. One thing that happened to me, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things that are, one is that when I was in first or second grade, we were allowed just to come down to this sanctuary and sit and learn a little bit about a worship service. The older students were coming regularly and then would leave just like they do at other churches. But I was sitting someplace near the front, and another first grader was sitting next to me, or second. We were very, very young. I was terrified in this room, frankly. It was dark, and I knew there was lots of very serious stuff that happened, and I was concerned about it. But as I was sitting there, the boy next to me, and I still remember him, reached over and he said, "Do you believe in the resurrection?" and I said, "What?" And he said, "You better have an answer. Do you believe in the resurrection?" And I said, yeah, no, yeah, I have no idea. And I don't know what it went from there, but it was a concern to me, and I left there and asked a lot of people, and I wasn't the only one in our grade that didn't know about that. Let's see, I was going to mention several of these other things. One was when I was in ninth grade, and I think Pat mentioned this, was they had, I don't remember it being called confirmation, but it was a study, and if you passed that, and everybody did, you were authorized to join the church. And when I was in ninth grade, I went through that, and then I was invited to join the church with all the other people that had graduated from that class. And I thought about it, and I declined to join the church. It was a serious matter to me, and I don't remember all about it, but I do remember the feeling that I wasn't ready to belong to a church. And then later on, that was ninth grade. The next year or so, in the summertime, I worked a lot in the country because that's where I lived, and there were other farm kids around that were friends of mine. And I got to know several of them very well, and they would sing a lot, believe it or not, different things, and we went to some softball tournaments and things, and they all sang, and they all seemed very religious. And I decided I'm going to join their church. And I talked to my parents about it, and they were a little dubious, But I remember my mother saying, if you studied this and you really thought about it, I would join that, or I would join with your friends. So I went to that other church for services and Sunday school and their youth group. And after about 2 weeks, or maybe 3, I knew it was wrong. And my mother had asked me to make sure I told Reverend Simmons what I was doing. And he probably had some ideas himself. But I kind of came back on and asked him if I could come back. He said, of course. I will say this, when I came back to this church, it was very, very comfortable and very important to me, and has been ever since. There's other times in my life where I've needed this church, and I found that this church has always been there. Let me see, I was going to mention some other things here. I was asked to kind of compare the Park Congregational Church with the First Congregational Church, United Church of Christ. Oh, I'm sorry. And I studied and thought about it a lot, and I thought about Joseph Cleveland and Wilbur Simmons, who were the 2 ministers when I was growing up, and all through it. And I thought about it, and then I decided there is a difference, or there was a difference. And I mentioned this to Ben tonight. I said, I don't think they followed the lectionary. And I really think, and I think and I can't explain why I would remember that, because, but I think there was a difference, and I'm not going to argue which is best or anything like that, because that's in a grade level above mine. So the other thing I would say is, just to reemphasize what Pat said, and I would talk about the choir. I didn't participate very much because we were in the country, and I don't feel sorry for myself one bit about that. But I did miss a few things at the church. But the choir of the church and all the youth choir was outstanding. The other thing is, the youth of this church participated in all kinds of things across the country. And they would take trips, and the choir would sing different places, and it was marvelous. I will end by saying I love our church as it is today, and I love my church as it used to be. Thank you.
Let me get this.
I'm a fairly newcomer to this group, illustrious group, because I came in 1955 when Norm and I were married in this church, and this aisle, to me, when I walked down this aisle, it was twice as long as it is now. But if anyone is interested, I brought the wedding album, and you can see any changes that are in the church. The pipes were still there, but there was like a curtain type of thing where that wood is now. And so I didn't grow up in this church, but I heard so many stories from Norm about the youth group and the travels, and just like Stow was saying, the travels that they did. And he went on from this church to be one of 2 youth delegates to the World Council of Churches in Scotland. So he was still, and it was all rooted here, and he joined this church because of the youth group, and then talked his parents into joining it too. So he and Patsy had great times together in this church, and I feel like it was kind of my church too, eventually. But if anyone is interested, pardon?
Will you pass it?
Sure. Anybody that wants to see. We were sitting while we were eating, trying to figure out exactly which was the dome room and, you know, the accordion door was down in these pictures. So, we were the last ones married in this church, Congregational Church, and then we went directly to the new church after that. Thank you.
Take the church.
Okay, I am sort of the Johnny or Naomi come lately. My parents did not belong to a church.
Naomi, you need to go closer.
Pardon me? Up higher? Okay. My parents did not belong to a church. My mother was Scotch Presbyterian, and my father was an excommunicated Catholic. He had been married and divorced before he met my mother, and he was out of there. I did attend Sunday school, usually with cousins, and mostly at the Eaton Congregational Church. But when I got into junior high, I had several friends that belonged to various churches, so I would attend church with them. And I found that I was most comfortable right here. Loved it. And I did participate in the youth groups, and Norm Noe and I did a duet. We thought we were very good, but we weren't. But my mother had said, when you're old enough, you will find a church. And I found it in junior high. Even though I was not a member, but I attended here. And I loved it. And I do love my church. Thank you.